Eala reflects on 2025 season. My dreams have truly come alive. Eala reflected on her recently concluded WTA season, which saw her become one of the world's best in tennis. Eala recently reached a career-high number 50 in the WTA rankings in a season which saw her break into the world's top 100, make history for Philippine tennis, and win her first WTA 125 title. My season comes to an end. I have no words to describe what 2025 has brought me. My dreams have truly come alive, Eala said in a post on Monday. It's such a privilege to look back at this year and relive these amazing moments through memory. In the shimmering wake of the 2025 season, Filipino tennis star Eala stood at a crossroads, part reflection, part promise. At just 20 years old, she had experienced a year that most players spend a decade chasing: breakthrough wins, historic milestones, personal evolution, and the emotional weight of carrying an entire nation's hopes. As she wrote in her own words, "My season comes to an end. I have no words to describe what 2025 has brought me. My dreams have truly come alive." GMA Network +2 Tennis 365 +2. But what lies beneath that heartfelt declaration? What currents of ambition, growth, setback, and hope flowed into this one resonant sentence? Let's walk through the seasons of Alex's journey this year, exploring the scenes, the emotional arcs, and the turning points that helped make this season far more than just numbers on a ranking list. 1. The quiet before the surge. At the start of 2025, Eala's ranking hovered outside the world's elite, ranked around number 147 in the WTA standings. Tennis 365 +1. She had talent, potential, and a legacy of junior success. See her 2022 U.S. Open girls singles title. But the professional circuit is another world entirely. She arrived at 2025 with the dreams of a teenager and the burden of a country waiting to see what its next sports icon might look like. This portion of the journey is important because it reminds us, dreams are rarely snapped into existence. They are built on routines, on hours in the gym, in the practice court, on flights, on hotel sleep, on the blur of surfaces and match points, and sometimes defeat. In an earlier interview, she acknowledged that despite the big moment of the Miami Open run, see next section, internally she tried to hold things constant. My dreams have stayed the same. I've always been a big dreamer. Miami Open. The fact that she could say that with the weight of expectation already building shows a grounded maturity, and one of the reasons 2025 tipped the way it did. 2. The breakthrough, Miami and firsts. One of the defining chapters of her 2025 came in March at the Miami Open. As a wild-card entrant, someone who, by all prior records, wasn't meant to yet be knocking on the door of the big leagues, Alex produced a string of stunning wins, beating former Grand Slam champions, including Jelena Ostapenko and Madison Keys, and then taking out world number 2 Iga Swiatek in the quarterfinals. Tennis 365 +1. This wasn't just a fluke. She became the first Filipino to beat a top 10 opponent in the Open era. Wikipedia +1. She reached a WTA semifinal, placing her firmly on the map. More than that, she discovered in real time that the game didn't just ask for talent. It asked for nerve, for calm under pressure, for the art of believing while needing to still work. I'm super excited. But this result came in the right time, she said. The national. For many athletes, the breakthrough moment is as much internal as external. You believe you belong, and suddenly you perform like you do. For Alex, that Miami run cracked open a new dimension, the dimension where dreams meet possibility. 3. Historic milestones, first for a nation. When an individual rises, sometimes an entire country feels uplifted. Alex's 2025 wasn't only personal. It reverberated for Philippine tennis. Some of the firsts she chalked up. Her first WTA 125 title at the Guadalajara Open, WTA 125, making her the first Filipino to achieve that. Tennis 365 +1. Her Grand Slam main draw debut at French Open and later Wimbledon, and then her first Grand Slam singles match win at the U.S. Open, defeating Clara Tauson. Tennis 365 +1. Entering the top 50 of the WTA rankings, world number 50, the highest ever for a Filipino woman to date. Rafa Nadal Academy plus 1 inch. This marks the beginning of what I hope to be a long, happy, and fruitful career on tour. GMA Network plus 1. She didn't frame the season as an end, but as a launching pad. That's a powerful mindset, especially for someone navigating the intensity of global sport while representing a country whose tennis scene is still emerging. 4. The emotional currency. Gratitude, identity, and purpose. Amid the glory are the still, quiet moments. In her Instagram reflection, she described the season as a love letter to her family, friends, team, and supporters, and to baby Alex, a term of endearment for her younger self, which hints at something deeper than wins or rankings. Rayford Media. Why is this important? Because success in sport often becomes detached from its origin. The child who picked up a racket, the early mornings, the sacrifices. Alex didn't let that vanish into the noise. She kept the thread alive. Consider what she told the National. There's a big thing, my family. They always cook for me Pinoy food. I feel that keeps me grounded. The National. In a world of jet-lagged hotels and constant travel, the smell of home, the taste of home, becomes anchoring. For a young athlete whose dreams span the world stage, identity becomes an asset. Also, she openly acknowledged that with the big moments came a heavier spotlight. More eyes, more expectation, but also more motivation. The National. 5. Setbacks, learning curves, and the reality check. No epic story is without its thorny turns. As much as 2025 brought highs, it brought reminders that the journey has many layers. At the Eastbourne Open in June, Alex reached her first WTA Tour final, historic for a Filipino player, but arose from the match with a bittersweet feeling. She narrowly lost to Maya Joint in a tight final 6-4, 1-6, 7-6, 10. GMA Network plus 1. Afterwards she said, "This has to be one of the toughest losses of my early career, but I firmly believe that it's these moments that make you stronger and shape your character." GMA Network. And at the end of the season, at the Hong Kong Open, she exited in the round of 16 to Victoria Mboko. While the immediate result might feel like a dip, in her reflection she emphasized how the whole season marks the beginning, not the peak. GMA Network plus 1. One quote captures her mindset. "I'm still hungry, and I still want to finish off on a high note." SABC Sport. Setbacks aren't just failures. They're data points in the narrative of growth. For Alex, they seem to be chapters rather than endpoints.